his family and serving as a deacon at Bountiful Blessings World Fellowship in Little Rock, Arkansas. So, will you help me to bring him forward by giving him a great hand as he comes forward to share with you information about him.
I want to thank God for waking me up this morning. Thank you, Reverend Williams, for that warm introduction. You all look real good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you everybody for coming to this esteemed campus, and of course, to my big brother Carl, we appreciate you, sir. And also to my big brother Willie back there, Sergeant Davis. We have a number of people in the audience who are some of my students from Arkansas Baptist College, so I'm thankful that they made the trek over here to North Little Rock to be a part of this event. Remember, this is about showing people how to respond responsibly, not just to law enforcement, but to yourselves. A lot of times people don't realize how many times that when you look at African American males, we have a greater chance of being killed by someone who looks like us rather than police. Numbers say 90% of our deaths are from each other, and so we have to address that illness. But again, this is about showing people how to respond responsibly to law enforcement. And so doing that forward, we all move together. And so as a historian, I must say this, and I'm gonna step aside this booth real quick, that today's an anniversary. Does anyone know the anniversary of today? Today was the day that Dr. King spoke in front of the Washington Monument in 1963. This was on 28th of August of 1963, and also Katrina. Of course, we all know in 2005, I was down there a week before the storm actually hit. I believe it was 2005, was it not?
Yes, sir.
So again, we want to definitely pay homage to that as well, okay? So we thank you all. Of course, those that don't know about responsibility, the road to responsibility, I'm thankful. I've been able to give this presentation all over the country. Started here in Little Rock, Arkansas, well, North Little Rock as well. And the officers that you see here with me were some of the first ones to accompany me along this journey. So it's very thankful, I'm very thankful for it. Now, what is responsibility? Responsibility is a number of things, okay? But I want to show you this real quick on this Prezi. It says, it's a formula designed to address cultural and social etiquette skills for all Americans, all Arkansans, in particular, yes, minorities of color, when they encounter Leos. Everybody say Leo.
Leo.
That's a law enforcement officer. It's nothing derogatory. It's not a slanderous term. This is a term that we made up. It's called Leos. And without them, Lord knows what will happen without them. We need Leos in our lives. Moving forward, it includes preventative measures to avoid misinterpretations, miscommunications, miscues, and all those kinds of things, misunderstandings. And so, of course, it promotes communication skills, social and cultural competences, and it addresses what citizens, not Leos, can do. This is not a police officer bashing session. This is not that. Responsibility empowers us as citizens, as civilians, as taxpayers, as voters, as students, as learners, as mothers, as fathers. Of course, my son turned 26 yesterday, so I have to go ahead and check on him to make sure he was okay. And so he's doing just fine, okay? The first assignment, real quick, I want you to take out your phone right now. Everybody get your phone out. Okay, we're gonna do a quick selfie. All right, we're gonna do a quick selfie. All right, now of course, I want you to hashtag responsibility, and of course, at EDDavisW, and you post it on Facebook or Instagram, okay? So I'm gonna stand up here, and I'm gonna give y'all all behind me. Now on the count of 3, all right? Yeah, on the count of 3. I want y'all to all scream on 3, real loud. We're gonna do it for the Lord, okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now of course, get that selfie out, take a picture of the person next to you. Okay, I want you to archive this moment. It's very important. If you're with somebody that you don't know, now's the chance to meet them. Okay, now's the chance to break that bread, get a selfie. See, I like that couple right there. Yeah, they got something special right there. Go ahead. If you don't know the person next to you, now's the time to break the ice. This is an icebreaker, y'all. Just take a selfie, and of course, here's what you do. You tag it, responsibility, and you post it on your page, okay? You post it on your page, and we also know that Facebook is used for a lot of things, but we want to keep it positive, keep it godly, keep it clean. So again, let's move forward with that. That's what responsibility is. Now, we all know who this is, right? Exactly. Y'all know who Peter Parker is? Y'all know who Eric Brooks is? Oh, y'all got quiet on that. Or Tony Stark's Iron Man. Who is Bruce Wayne? Duh. But who is Eric Brooks? It's a teachable moment for y'all. Eric Brooks is Blade Okay, Blade was a hybrid, vampire, half human. Has all their strengths, none of their weaknesses. I said it to say this. All these persons are earthly superheroes. They all had somebody in their life to invest back in them. Okay, in this case, for Peter Parker, it was who? Uncle who? Ben. It was Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben told him, it says right there, with great power comes what? Great responsibility. Okay, of course we know Blade had who? Abraham Whistler. I know my comic books. Okay, also Tony Stark had who? His dad, the founder of S.H.I.E.L.D. And of course Bruce Wayne had his dad, Wayne Enterprise. I said all that to say this. You have to have an investment or be an investor in human capital. Okay, in this case, my dad, James Edmond was that person for me. And of course, my big brothers on the side back here, they invested in me as well. And so responsibility, what's the key? Responsibility shows us how to respond responsibly to law enforcement. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, if you've seen the movie I, Robot, I, Frankenstein, this is the I generation. Whether we like it or not, this is the information superhighway era that we're in right now. So again, that's where you get the term respond-ability from, because it shows you, the ability to respond responsibly to law enforcement. Let's continue. On this road to respondability, phase 2. Okay, this is phase 2. Everybody say SAT. SAT. Now when I was in high school in 92, the SATs were the Scholastic Aptitude Test. I took it 5 times before I actually got the grammar. Okay, so again, I took those SATs. Some of y'all took the ACTs. I took both of them. But to say all that, these SATs are 21st century tips. These are safety advocacy tips. These new SATs are safety advocacy tips. They're designed to help everyone, not just African Americans. This is not an African American message. This is a people message. This is a message about survival and thriving. Okay, so again, these SATs are important. All right, so which levels of law enforcement does responsibility apply to? Who wants to answer that question? All of them, for the most part. Each and every one of them, okay? Check this out. Exactly. Whether it's Phoenix PD, Alaska State Troopers, the law enforcement for the mall, or of course the deputy of Saline County. It doesn't matter. It could be an apartment complex security officer. It could be your 3rd grader's resource officer at that school, okay? So again, if he or she has a badge, regardless of a weapon or not, but again, you have to respect the law. And of course, we want that to reciprocate it back at us, and sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it does. We can't let out of 100% of officers, the 15% that are bad, we can't allow that to ruin our day. Here we go. Y'all know who that is, right? Y'all know that's who? That's Shaq. But what else is that? Shaq is a deputy. He's also a doctor, for those who didn't know. Yes. He has a PhD. Shaq also is a business owner. His dad, who was an investor in him, told him years ago, basketball's not gonna last forever. Okay, have a plan B and a plan C. Okay, so that's what sometimes our younger athletes, they don't realize that. So Shaq, of course, owns a small parcel of Starbucks and the Sacramento Kings and Krispy Kreme. Okay, so again, he has his hands in a lot of different things as an entrepreneur. Okay, but in essence right here, this is when he was deputized as an officer. So again, it's Dr. Shaq. Who's that? Paul Blart. Okay, so again, this could be someone that's working at Park Plaza Armor King Law. Respect our officers. Undercover, out of code, and of course we know Paul Blart. All right? This is very important. Now, this is phase 2, the top SATs. Everybody say SAT. SAT. Now, when you take pictures, hashtag SAT. When you do that, a lot of times, you see some things that line up. But these SATs are the safety advocacy tips. Okay, safety advocacy tips. Moving forward for the 21st century, okay? So we all should have a copy of the SATs right here. We're gonna kind of go over all those moving forward. These are just the top 10 that we have. There's plenty of them out there than just having top 10. So make sure you have a copy in your hand. If you don't, we've got some people to be able to give you a copy of the SATs moving forward, okay? The first SAT, who has that one of the first SAT they were given out? Somebody should have the first one. Let's read them. Who has the first one? Just read it. It should say number 1 right here, SAT. Someone wants to read that for us? They were given out?
Always have a charged cell phone.
Say it again, yes ma'am. Say it loud.
Always have a charged cell phone on you to record when needed. Respectfully, notify law enforcement officers that you are recording and keep it at a safe distance.
Okay? This is important. Many a times we operate in fear, whether it's the officer or the citizen, the civilian. And so we want to empower you by letting you know it's lawful to record. Just do it in a respectful, tactful, tasteful fashion. You know, going in that pocket real fast can cost you your life. All right, don't try to go viral, y'all, going in your pockets real fast. It's not the smartest thing to do in an age of rage now that we live in. And so again, responsibility tells us with this first SAT that it's okay. You let the officer know what you're doing. Say, hey, you know, going in my pockets, televise your every movement, and dig in that pocket and pull out your phone and record. There's nothing wrong with that. Just let them know. Don't get caught up in your emotions and your feelings. A lot of guys are locked up in jail because they made one bad decision based off their attitude, based off their mood. Now they got to do 20 years because of how they feel. Don't make a decision based off your feelings. Speaking to gentlemen primarily. Okay, I got a grown son. I can't speak for the ladies, but I can tell you as a man, you know, we're not supposed to make decisions based off our feelings. We can get you in a lot of trouble, if not killed. So again, I wouldn't be employed if I did, okay? So moving forward, here we go. Know your rights, it's perfectly legal. And the source down here, of course, is from the Huffington Post, the Huff Post. Let's move to the second SAT, real quick. Now, of course, before we get there, here's another image. We see this lady, she's doing what? From a what distance though? Very safe distance, exactly. So again, even right here, you know, hands are out, so it's not a problem doing that moving forward. Okay, let's go to the second SAT. All right? Now, this one right here is a video, so we're gonna go ahead and let you all see this video real quick.
I'm gonna verbalize what you see. Young man is trying to let the officer know his rights, and the officer is trying to tell him, hey, giving you like 5 opportunities to comply. And so this man in this car is keeping it real with the cop. And of course, I remember a show called The Chappelle Show back in '04 when keeping it real what? Goes bad. Okay, so you're about to see what happens when keeping it real goes wrong. So you have to be very mindful. The audio's kind of comical, but it's serious at the same time. It's comical because the man doesn't lose his life. Okay? It's comical in that sense. But in the other aspect of it, you know, it's serious because he's obviously being detained. There's another officer pulling up, and he said, man, I'm giving you like 4 or 5 opportunities. And so this man is still talking. Now watch what the officer does. You see it's getting crunk, if you will. He's saying step out the vehicle. Now you don't have an option now. He's trying to tell him that the law in Texas is, and the young man is wrong. So, of course, windows out. At that point, attitudes flare. You're not going to ever win with that. So again, okay, so that's pretty much what happened. Now, I've got people here who've forgotten more than what I ever know about these kind of encounters. I've got to get Sergeant Davis and Major Menden. I would like to ask Major Menden, give us some input, sir. Was this man wrong, the civilian, and was the officer right? And what would you share with the audience as it relates to responsibility?
Well, I've seen parts of this video before, so basically what you can't hear is he walked up, he's just asking for his driver's license, registration, insurance, and the young man won't throw the window down. You notice the window's only cracked like this, and he's dealing with a sovereign citizen. We feel they have, law enforcement has no authority over them, they can do whatever they want, and he's trying to tell him that, you know, the law in Texas is you have to provide this information. Same law here, and he's like, your law doesn't pertain to me, you can't do it, not gonna do it, not gonna roll it down. I mean, it starts off relatively calm, and you know, if he just gave me the information, probably would have, man, I even got a ticket, but I just got a warning. I don't know what, I heard you ask what it was for. I don't know what the stop was for, I have no idea. Really not that. I've never seen that part of it. I don't know if he stopped for speeding or intent. I have no idea. But he broke the law in some fashion, and he's just trying to get the basic information to send him on his way. And that encounter would probably just be like I said, a ticket or a warning, but instead it escalates to the fact that I'm sure he went to jail.
Do they have to have a reason to pull you over?
Yeah.
No one here.
Yes.
I'm not familiar. Would you
this chair. That's why Willie's standing up there. Small chair, really big guy. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's, again, Major Carl, man. Okay, let's give Edmond a hand, y'all. Come down here. I'm not a major anymore. I switched jobs. I'm the chief of police of Bryan protection right now.
And that's
You're what?
I'm the chief of police of Bryan, Arkansas. But Ed has known me for years as a major, so. And so.
These are my two big brothers. These are the kind of guys I hang out with, brothers from a motorcycle club. We're just kind of hanging out, you know. So it's cool. Okay, the next SAT. All right, now again, I need someone to read this one. Who has number 2? We gave these out. We eliminated this, sir.
Don't always say what's on your mind to law enforcement officers, even if they ask.
Yes, ma'am. And so again, like the Chappelle Show said, and I'm a big fan of Dave Chappelle, when keeping it real goes bad. So again, sometimes you have to be mindful. It can go bad for you in a situation. And for that man, when keeping it real went wrong, it did on him. Okay. So the next SAT right here is, this is the actress Danielle Waits. We all know, if you Google her with your smartphones, you can see the movies that she's been in before. She is in a relationship where she's dating a European American gentleman, and they were just in their car, and they were stopped by law enforcement because someone called the cops on them for, exactly, suspicious activity, if you will. I'll leave it at that, okay? So, the officer comes up, and as you can see, it doesn't matter about his ethnic background, his ancestry, his heritage. So what? Hispanic American brother. He stops her and he says, "Can I see your ID?" And of course she says, "Why?" And she has the right to ask that question. But, okay, it was an extended conversation. The longer the conversation is, the more it goes in the opposite favor of you. So again, you definitely want to get home safe and always keep a smile on your face. And so, of course, that's what happened. Who has number 3 SAT? Can you get you to read that? Yes, ma'am.
Don't refuse to show ID requested by any law enforcement officer. Also, it's okay to ask the officer why they ask. Carefully give it to them.
Okay. Key word, carefully give that to them. But I want to bring in Sergeant Davis to give some more input as it relates to what we can do as citizens to help prevent. Remember, these are preventative measures to be in a situation like this millionaire lady is. Okay?
I think a lot of times, how y'all doing? I think a lot of times we can eliminate a lot of the chaos regarding the relation between the police and the black community is that do what they say. Now, that doesn't mean that you're wrong or they're right, but I'd rather for you to be right than dead right. So ask them for ID, or if they want that, give it to them. Because if they are indeed wrong, that's what lawyers are for.
But don't they have to have something involved?
Say again.
Don't they have to have probable cause to even stop you or ask for ID? So if the officer just walks up to you and asks for your ID, you have the right to ask them for what?
Yes, and I hope he has probable cause to ask you that.
Moving forward. The next SAT on this highway responsibility. Who has number 4? There should be an eliminated one for number 4. Yes, ma'am.
If you're stopped by any officer, keep your answer on the steering.
Okay, that some would think is self-explanatory, but remember, there's no law saying to keep your hands on the steering wheel. So we get kind of caught in our feels where we say, you know what, that ain't in the law book anywhere. But again, here it is. This is where being expedient kind of comes into play. And again, common sense is hashtag common sense matters. Again, that's what matters to me, common sense. So, again, we've got 4 basic components that fall under that. All right, it says, number 1, turn your car off. That shows respect to the officer. I know if I'm an officer and walking up to your car, you still got to run it, that's telling me you think you're going to get out of here fast. So just out of respect for the officer, it's always kind, it's always respectful just to turn your engine off. You know, it shows a whole lot of poise and collectivity when you do that. Also here, ID on dashboard. Now, of course, it's better to do that. Now, you don't have to do that. Mines are all in one part in my car. I've got copies of it too, just in case I lose it. All right, I keep them all in one spot in my car, so there's no, I gotta go find it here and there. My son's hair is way down in here. He's got locks. and then he's got tattoos. So people have this negative impression about people with wild hair and tattoos. They get scared. So again, plus when he's trying to grab stuff and you're walking into a car and you see all that movement going on, you don't know what's going on. So again, you have to be mindful of these things from the officer standpoint. Okay, so next one, both hands on steering wheel. I like to keep mine at 11 and 1. Most people keep it at what, 9 and what? 3, okay? So again, radio's on volume. I've got plenty of videos to show y'all how, and you remember, responsibility is not bashing officers. It's empowering us to tell us, when you get stopped, turn your radio down a little bit. Because again, it does rub the officer the wrong way. You listen to some old DMX from the 90s between class, and you get my point. So again, it's always important to do that. And remember, at the bottom it says this is not a law, okay? But it's just expedient to do that, okay? Number 5, who has number 5? The laminated copy of number 5. The laminated copy of number 5. Yes, sir. Okay. We all know what happened here. Yeah. Okay, and of course, the volume situation, but we all understand what happened at this sad moment. This case was in the news about a week or so ago with his daughter and his son. I think the officer, was released from the NYPD, I believe. And of course, that's why it's been in the news. And people have said things on many sides. And remember, this is not about the officers, okay? In this case, we all know they were wrong, definitely. We're talking about if Eric can go back in time, if we can go back in time, you know? Of course, his body language. Everybody say body language. That means a whole lot, okay? People are already scared. I'm not the biggest guy, nor am I the tallest. I don't seem to be intimidating or imposing, but again, you've got some guys that are twice my size, a whole lot more hairier, and they got, you know, just that imposing look. And then, of course, your body language is doing all that. Some of us speak like this. You know, I like to keep my hands like this when I'm speaking. So you can't say I threatened anything. I like to keep it under control. But again, we see, you know, Mr. Garner, God rest his soul, it didn't have to grow out like that. Of course, this was recently in the news. All right, so getting back to that, I'm gonna move forward here. We know that maneuver gently to grab your ID and et cetera, et cetera. Again, I told you I'll keep all mine in the same place. So when I do get stopped, and I was stopped last week, I'll tell you more about that later on in the slides. It's all in the same place at the same time. My ID, registration, insurance, okay? And my license to carry firearms. It's all in the same place. So when I do grab it, there's no looking for it because it's already there, okay? So let's go ahead and move forward. Who's got number 6, the eliminated one? Who's got number 6? Yes, sir. Wait a minute, she's got the eliminated one. Let's let her do it.
Okay. Always respect the personal space of law enforcement officers.
Okay, now again, I love these gentlemen behind me, but guess what I'm about to do, y'all? I'm about to get up in their face. Now, according to them, in their professional opinion, let's ask, what would be considered either disrespectful or out of line or out of bounds if you're trying to address an officer, whether they be a deputy, a state trooper, FBI, U.S. Marshals, campus security? What would you say, Chief, as it relates to have that body space with you and anybody?
Well, officers are taught to keep a little bit of distance in between, and that's just a reactionary gap in case somebody did try to hurt the officer, whether it's to punch them, pull a weapon, something of that nature. So instead of being up close like this, we're usually going to stand off, probably 3, 4, 5 feet. It's not a sign of disrespect to you. It's not. Don't take it that way. It's safety for you and them, because I can see what you're doing, you can see what I'm doing, and that's all that's for. Same thing like when we walk up to the car, and if your window's right here, and I'm going to stay back here. We're not doing that because we don't want to come up the window and talk to you. It's just a safety thing. There's that little piece of metal right there, and that keeps the officer safe. So when we do things like that, there's always a reason. And once the stop's over, you can probably ask the officer. He'll tell you. I tell people all the time, it's not a big secret. They ain't rocket science for what we're doing. There's always a reason. There's a tactic. There's a methodology behind it. You just gotta ask, and once you know, it kind of makes sense to you, and you don't think that much about it. But it's kind of like when I go to a physics lab, I don't know nothing about physics. I'm intimidated, I'm scared. You ask questions, I'm not gonna understand the answers. So I'm gonna explain it to me. Because I was a political science major, so I needed to do that kind of stuff. So you can ask questions, and like I said, there's a reason why we do stuff like that.
I have a question.
We got Q&A session, but hold that thought, man, hold that thought.
I was gonna say too, in regard to respect, I take it first impression, and it starts with me too, how I am with you. So I think that goes both ways, how I approach you. And even the stance he was talking about, you may notice a lot of times we stand this way, but our gun side away. Well, I mean, at your car, I'm like this, and I got this away from you too. So we see officers leaning in, that's why it's a protective thing for us. And to stand that way, and my feet are not like this. I'm always like this and talk to you, because if you push me back like this, I go, but I got to stand here. And so everything is a reason. It's not that we don't want to talk to you, but initially it's the first impression of how I approach you or what you say to me. If you call me MF, then we got a problem already, because we just Sir, my name is Willie. So it's that kind of thing, you know. So
that's how I know you.
Yeah.
Okay, now remember, hold your thought. We're going to come back and address your question. Okay, now next to the next SAT here. This is number 7. So of course, who has the laminated copy of number 7? The laminated one. Who has that one? Who wants them to read that one? Remember, they were given out. We have to collect those too. Somebody has number 7? You want to have that copy?
There was one up there.
Okay, this is the one. This is the next one. We'll just get a volunteer to read it. Go ahead, it can be anybody. Those not shy folks. Yes, sir, number 7.
Even with the concealed carry, you ain't gonna carry license. Don't want to reach for the firearm around any law enforcement officer.
Okay, we all know what happened in Minnesota with the Blanco. And of course, there's a process that you definitely want to use. Again, hashtag common sense matters. Again, I've got license to carry, my wife has license to carry firearms, but we would never go up to school or walk around just kind of flaunting weapon in that regard. It's not smart. Of course, we know the law as well, and so it's important moving forward. Y'all want to add to that?
I mean, I can just tell you that, if I was to get pulled over and I'm off duty, I'm going to give the officer my ID. I'm going to tell him there's a handgun in the car, even if I'm off duty. Because he may see my gun and react to it too. You see a weapon, you see a weapon. So it doesn't just pertain to you, it pertains to us too.
Once again, students, this information is very valid. It's so valuable for us. I'm going to get right home and tell my grandsons about it.